Yeah, thanks for coming and taking the time. Appreciate it. I think I've said it before. I'm thankful for the way our team's covered, and yeah, we're excited to get going. So it's the second year here. Our guys got here July 5th. We have 15 new players, and I think the biggest task for any sport or any coach is trying to get the group to become a team. And I'm thankful our university supports us that way, where we can get our guys in here, and that's really what the summer's about. They're training. We can't do anything with them, but start becoming a team. And then we started here. We limited hours. I think this is our 5th week of doing it. On the ice, and we really like the group. They're a competitive group. We wanted to add some speed. We felt like we've added some speed. We've added some drive to our lineup and competition for spots. And I've always said, I think that's the biggest driver in development and that's our job, is to maximize each one of our players, is to have competition, genuine competition. And so we definitely have that up and down our lineup. And we're excited. We got another week of practice here, and then get to open up with Lake Superior State, and obviously a proud program. One I have ties to, and coached by a couple of alumni, so we're excited about that, having them. And I think most importantly, that night will be a special night. Putting Ron's signature on the ice. I think all of our alums, and I'm thankful the university supported us in doing that, and so that'll be a great weekend. And then we have 6 more non-conference games. We go on the road to Air Force. There's always a well-coached team, tough rank to play in. Come back and play Canisius here, I think one of the top teams in their conference, and then we go out to Boston College, which will be a really good series, and then we open up on the road against Ohio State. So I'm really looking forward to getting going here, and with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Hey Coach, so obviously last season the whole team had to buy into your play style. This season 15 players have to buy into your play style. How much has changed since last season with having some guys that have already played for you here, and how much of that has been you and how much of that has been from them?
Yeah, I think the hope is majority is from the players. I think that anytime your players are really the leaders in the room, is really when you have a special team. And I really like a group of guys who got coming back. They know how we want to do things, not just on how we want to play, but how we want to sleep, how we want to rest, how we want to train, how we want to act in the community, how we want to act in the class. And so those guys really do a good job, and I think that really helps with the group of guys we brought in.
You're not new to the profession, but still just going in a year or two. Is there a comfort level for you and the staff with a year under your belt here?
Oh, I don't know if comfort. I think anytime, me and my family had been here, right, and then a couple of the assistants and our strength coach, hadn't been here. So that, you're bringing your wives and bringing your kids, and you're diving in the community. And I can tell you, they've really enjoyed it and the support we get within the community. And I think we feel good about where we are as far as kind of trying to build the program. We haven't arrived yet, but definitely that first summer when you're moving and doing all those things, you're a little bit spread out, and it feels like everyone's at home now.
Coach, talked about it a little bit, but just talk about the excitement of the Ron Mason tribute, and take us through the process of that and getting it done, and just how exciting that is, especially on opening night.
Yeah, I think of Ron Mason, he is Spartan hockey, and so much to not only our program but all of college hockey, and really is a little bit of the John Wooden of college hockey. And I think that had gone on for a bit. Dave Carrier was really involved, early on in talking about he came to me and brought it to me, and I think Alan's always been supportive of anything we're looking to do, and with certain things like that have to get approval. You can't just slap something on the ice, and so you got to go through the process, and the university supported it, and yeah, we're super excited about it. I think I've said this before. Looks like ticket sales are pretty good, and our marketing department does a great job. Our job is to put a product on the ice that everyone's proud of, and but I do think we're bearing a lot of the fruits that Ron laid. We got a lot of people coming back to watch our team play, and that's a credit to Ron, because this is a hockey town, and there's a hockey culture here, and so everything that he's done, I think that's the least we could do.
Izzo said earlier this week that he looks over here and he can feel the heat coming up from top of the building. How do you equate the preseason hype to maybe some of that heat? Do you feel it, and how do you embrace it?
Yeah, I think there's definitely excitement for sure, and we want to make sure we stay grounded. I talk to our guys about that a lot. People's opinions of you will change. We want a reputation to be one of the team that plays team hockey, that we play hard, we do things the right way, we play winning hockey. That's our reputation. The opinions change, and there for sure. There's more pressure when you do better, and that's a privilege. And I think that's what high level players are looking for. And for us, we talk a lot about tuning out noise too. We're not really worried about where we're ranked or where we're picked. That has no bearing on how we're going to play, and we got to go out and have a good practice, and keeping that mindset of, hey, worry about today, and tomorrow will take care of itself.
A couple of, I guess I call them Izzo connected questions. First of all, he talked about having a good mix of veterans and youth, and I was wondering if you felt that way. And then also, in year 2, do you maybe aspire more to that Izzo claim of a player-coach team is a better team?
Yeah, well, the second one, I totally agree with Coach on that. I remember him talking that even when I was a student athlete here, and it really resonated with me. And that's, I think, always we try to do with our teams is make sure that you really empower your players and to take responsibility for their development, take responsibility for their team, and we're there to guide them for sure. And but that is the most powerful one for sure. And what was the other question with
The mix.
yeah. So. Yeah, for sure. I think in a perfect world, you want to have some veteran leadership. I think we have that, and then you need some youthfulness for sure that is excited. And I think we have a really good blend of that. And our captain Nash Nienhaus really embodies what we're looking for in our program. And he's a team first guy. He's a low maintenance, zero maintenance guy, and he's a great example for our young guys coming in and how we do things.
Whether it's the guys that come in as freshmen or transfer with the 15 new guys, what's kind of the message that you were giving to guys as you were talking about guys potentially coming here, just kind of as what you're trying to build here?
Yeah, I think we're a program that you got to earn everything. We're not into promising things, and if you want a spot, we'll promise you a scholarship, but you got to come in and earn it. And I feel confident going in front of the room on that. And that's not for everyone, right? Some people are looking for that, and they're probably not a fit here. But at the end of the day, I think once you have that as part of your culture, that it's true pure competition. There's no side deals, and I think guys really embrace it. And I think the actual real players, that's exactly what they're looking for because they have real, genuine confidence in themselves that they can go out there and earn a spot.
Hey, Coach. It seemed like every new guy I talked to today, the top of their list was what you bring to the table and kind of the relationship aspect that you bring to the table as a coach. Was that kind of something you saw in the vision when you accepted this job, that would draw some high caliber players to the program?
I don't think I ever really looked at it that way. I knew it was important to put together a really good staff that had a reputation of doing that, and when you talk about recruiting players, we went out and got Mike Towns and Jared DeMichael. Their reputation is really good in the hockey world, and not only identifying talent, but developing relationships and developing players. So I think when you're building your staff, that's really important. I'm thankful we have a really good staff, and some of them for sure I did have previous relationships with, and there's a comfort there for me. They know what they're signing up for, and I know what we're signing up for, and with all those different guys, I think again it's the whole staff, and when we look to hire people, making sure they check those boxes.
What does Arden bring to you guys as someone who has a lot of outside hype, will be one of the younger players in college hockey this year too? Like when you look at him, both kind of the opportunity and the challenges for him this season.
Yeah, he's a great person. One thing that's really stood out with Artie is he doesn't want special treatment. I think that's really hard to find with a player his caliber. Is he just wants to be part of the team and help our team be great. And I think when you look at a 17-year-old coming into college hockey, there's an adjustment for sure, especially at his position. The defenseman, the mistakes are so much more magnified, right? If you're a winger and the puck doesn't get out, you got a few more layers where that's the last layer. But he's a dynamic skater. He's strong. He's competitive. Very good with the puck, and I like his willingness to defend. Sometimes you get a young D that's very good offensively, maybe doesn't have that same passion or interest for defending, and he definitely has that.
Adam, I'm sure it stung at the time being the one game short when you figured that out. Are there advantages to what you're discovering now in terms of drive, players understanding each game? Like, are there places you think it'll show up that this year, just missing out last year, will be an advantage?
Yeah, that's the hope, right? That's what the whole goal is. We want to keep learning and growing from experiences, and sometimes you gotta fail to move forward as a team and or even individually, right? It's not always going to go your way, and it's how you handle those situations. And I definitely think we got a great reference point. We were one win away from being in the tournament, and so when you look at college hockey, the parity is the highest it's ever been. All of our non-conference games will be super tough, and then you get into our conference. I think 6 of the 7 are ranked in the top 20, and I wouldn't be surprised at some point if all 7 are. So there's no nights off, and so that's why I really do believe in focus on things you can control. Don't get caught up in the rankings or where you're at in the pairwise, and all that really matters. You gotta focus on the now, and I think we've got a group of guys that will do that.
Red, Isaac, and Trey, all a part of the U.S. National Team Development Program. You obviously have ties there. How can that help in the transition with the newcomers and the veterans as well, just kind of knowing that they have, you have that similarity with each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, when you talk about Ike and you talk about Trey, you know, I coach both of those guys, so I think they know exactly what the expectation is on a daily basis. They know how we want to play, they know how we want to act. Red, I never coached, but he was on the older team when I had the 17 team. You know, but I think bringing in those driven players, like to reinforce competition, like these are high level players, but I think they look around and Carson Dorwart's a high level player, and I know he didn't play on the national team, but he's a really high level player, and Danny Russell's a really high level player, and Joey Larson's a really high level player. So there's good players here, and so I think that'll all help breed with that competition.
Coach, the fact that you look them down this lineup, and you may not feel it, but it looks like it's top to bottom a more talented lineup. So you're gonna have guys working through that. Maybe they're gonna sit some nights when they didn't think they should. Just talk about that approach and what that's, you know, what that whole thing is gonna mean.
Yeah, no, I think that's the reality. I told our guys at the end of the year, our job as coaches is to make this the most competitive place, and that's when your game's going to take off. And you know, I think when you talk about building a true, genuine relationship, it's not built on promises or guarantees. It's built on you're going to earn it, and if you want one of those spots, we're going to play the best guys. The guys give us the best chance to win, regardless if you're on a full ride or a walk on. Best guys are going to play, and so I feel good about that side of it, and not that there's not going to be guys that get frustrated. There's going to be good hockey players that aren't playing. But I also think the biggest thing I talked about to start is, you know, when you come to Michigan State, you know, everything that's provided to you, you got to lose yourself in the team, regardless if you're playing or not. We all have a lot to be thankful for, and I know it's hard, and I'm not saying you got to wave the white flag if you're out of the lineup. You got to still work, but if your job that week is to be on the fifth line, you better be the best fifth line player in the country, and that's the conversation we have with our guys, and I feel confident we have a group of guys in here that believe in that.
Coach, so earlier today, Nash said that his mentality coming in as a captain was that it doesn't take wearing the letter to be a leader, and just coming in, there's a lot of new guys on the team, a lot of young guys on the team. What's that kind of team culture just heading in, and a lot of guys, not just the captains, kind of leading and being a part of this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think talking to Nash or, you know, anyone that's, you know, the captain for the first time of the year, the biggest thing is Nash can't change who he is. You got to be genuine and be who you are. There's a reason every guy in our team voted for him except for himself. You know, I like that about him. He's got a humility where, so he's just got to be himself, you know, and I think we got enough guys around him for sure. I think leadership will be a strength of ours. We've got a multitude of guys that have wore letters on different teams and been on really good hockey teams and played at a really high level, and he doesn't have to feel like he's in it alone, and just continually believe in you got named that for a reason and have confidence in it.
Do you feel the momentum in this program, not with only what happened last season, you're getting closer, but what's happened even recently in recruiting here, and how this program is building? Do you feel that momentum in this program?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're excited about the direction of it for sure, and I think there is some momentum there, and but again, I think we talk to guys and we stay disciplined as our staff, you know, that all that stuff doesn't matter. Today matters, and we just got to take care of today. And you know, I think one of the reasons we have a little bit of momentum is our guys improved last year, and I always say to our guys, you're responsible for 80% of your development. We're responsible for 20%, and so you got to take responsibility for that. I'm not going to ever take credit for players that I think they're responsible for it. We try to do really good with the 20%. But yeah, it is definitely, you can feel it, and it's exciting.
When there's outside the box question, when there's disarray in the football program, as there is now, with the news even today that Mel's officially been released, what kind of ripple effect does that have on an athletic department, if any?
Well, I mean, I think for us, you know, we're here at the rink, we're focused on being a great hockey team, you know, and one of the things I have a ton of confidence is the resiliency of our university and our leadership and the job that Alan Haller does and his whole staff and the support that we have within the community, and you know, our job too is we can put a smile on people's faces with our effort and our attitude and our actions, and I think we got a group of guys that will do that.
Do you have any more questions?
With so many new faces on the team this year, for fans who watched the team last year, if you gave them an idea of what they might see when they come to the rink this year, what would you say to those fans? What will they see in terms of a difference this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think I even go back to the guys we got coming back. One of the things we talked about in the summer is, we got to get faster. We want to be faster, And so, Will did a really good job of putting a training program in where we've added speed to our lineup. So we've done that with the guys returning, and I think the guys we brought in have added that element of speed, and I think it's a really competitive lunch. Like I think those would be the two things. But I think we're going to be fast, and I think we're going to be competitive. You don't know for sure until the first starts flying and we play a game here, but I definitely think the speed will be a factor.
One of the things Nate talked about as far as the off season, and because you guys are so close, that he said him and the other leaders on the team pushed the idea of every practice, every period, every shift, every weight lift should be focused on the goal of getting into the NCAA tournament, because you guys came up short last year.
For sure, no, I know that is. So obviously, we don't talk a ton about winning. We want to win every game, and that's about the extent of it. And then it's about taking care of the process and having it being great, and no reps off. And so far, they've done a good job of that. It's a long season. Hockey season's a long season. And, I think it's one thing to do it at the rink, but like how you're living your life matters. We take care of our guys and feed them really well, but when they go home, you got to go to bed at the right time, and you got to get up at the right time. You can't sleep in, just get out of class that day or whatever. You got to stay disciplined, take care of your body, and I think all those tie into focusing on things that really matter, and then the results will take care of themselves.
Coach, how does it feel seeing the players that you coached last year leave the program and be doing great things? Like Eric Middendorf scored in the New Jersey Devils rookie showcase. How does it feel to know that you played a part in, his development?
Yeah, I think that's exciting, right? That's what you want. These guys, they gave a lot to us last year, and I think change isn't easy. Get a new coach coming in and doing things a different way, and I just think their buy-in and their leadership, I'll forever be thankful for, and just proud of them that they put all the work in, and I think I do think we have a good coaching staff, that helps guys get better and cares about them. It's not about us; it's about helping the guys get better, and to see him go on, and I just saw Michael Underwood. He was out in Colorado's rookie camp, and Jagger just played a preseason game, and Cole. I think Cole's a great story, right? He went into the portal, no one wanted him. He came back here and led the Big Ten goals for defense and signed an NHL contract. And Cole did the work for sure, but he's always been a talented player. But to see that happen, Christian go on and playing in Bridgeport. So, yeah, I'm super thankful for that group of guys and look forward to tracking them.
Yeah, and you alluded to that Nash was a clear choice in captaincy. Was it the same way when you were handing out the A's, or?
Yeah, for sure. There's a separation there, but I do think we got another group of guys, just not the guys that have letters on, that are leaders, and we have a leadership group, and definitely want them to be a part of it. And I think that really speaks to Nash, though. Because he doesn't try to be someone he isn't. Just goes about his business. He's the hardest worker every day, most competitive, really good in the classroom, really good in the community, and those are all things we're looking for with Spartan.
Just season coming up, big one. What are you personally looking forward to most for the season?
Well, I think just getting going, playing games. I think right now we've been practicing and talking about it and talking about it and practicing and talking about it. So I'm looking forward to playing the games, and I think that's when you really find out, obviously, about your team. And there'll be challenges for sure. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and that'll really test us as a team. But that's where I think that whole foundation of the most important thing we can do as a coaching staff is make sure we unify the group and make it a team. And I'm just looking forward to the group of guys going out and representing our university.
Do you have any more questions? Adam, will you just talk a little bit about the strength of the Big Ten from top to bottom, and it's the players that were lost out of the league were significant, but also the players that are still in this league are very significant in terms of the talent level across the league.
Yeah, super thankful to be a part of it. I think that's why we have access to the top players. I think our league's really good, and I think everyone has their opinions on what their league's the best. We like to think that ours is, but there's definitely, when you look at the the strength of schedule last year, 1 through 7 was the Big Ten. So And you look at the way that it finished, we were one game out, you look at the results, in that first round of the Big Ten tournament, or the NCAA tournament, it's pretty staggering the way our conference outscored their opponents. So, again, I'm thankful for it because it forces you to be your best every night. It allows us to have access to the top players because the top players want to play in our league, and it'll be close again. It'll be a tight league, and I mean, you look at the history of all the programs and the coaching staffs that they all have, and the facilities and the fan base. I mean, pretty special for our guys to be a part of it.
Do we have any additional questions?
Yeah, Coach, every time we asked about what it meant to the players, being third in the Big Ten, they said, we're not even thinking about that. Is that something that you drilled in pretty early on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the way we go about our business. We're not an Instagram program, we just worry about what things we can control, and so we're not focused on any of that stuff. And I think those are, we've been picked last quite a bit, and just because we're picked higher doesn't mean we're going to finish. We got to go out there and do the work, and we play in a really good league. And I just think too is with the age of our guys, I think it's really important to try to help them with that. Is like we live in a world that's about how many likes you have and all this different stuff, and really none of those things matter. And it matters if we become a team, and it matters if we play our best, and it matters if we practice our best every day. And we do that, we'll get to where we want to get to.
Yeah, you just talked about it earlier and just now about how you guys set up a staff that makes these players want to come and play here. But obviously every Big Ten school's goal is to do that. What do you think you guys do differently that attracts players?
Well, I don't know if we do anything differently. I think there's a lot of good options, in the Big. That's competitive. Recruiting's competitive, and so you get down to the short strokes against some of these top players, and they have options, and hopefully you feel like you can separate yourself a little bit. And at the end of the day, it is probably about the relationship they end up having with the coach. I mean, the facilities are pretty similar, the traditions are pretty similar. So I think that I'm proud of the way our staff forms relationships with the players, and some like it and come, some don't like it, they don't come, and that's fine too. And the nice thing is we do have guys that want to come here now, and there's a bit of a line, and we're excited about that direction of it. Yep.
I wanted to follow up. You said not an Instagram program question. I'm curious. You dealt with players similar age group at the National League program, and what's it like helping players kind of manage that? Because are those external pressures. There is a big part of social life things. What's it like as a coach helping manage that, find the balance for lack of a word?
Well, I think I always felt like when I was with the national team, that was probably my most important job, is to help keep the guys grounded. And I think on that one team we had 7 forwards going in the first round, and the biggest thing is I would make sure our guys know like hockey's not the most important thing in your life. You shouldn't look in the mirror and see a hockey player. Hockey is what we do. It's not who we are. And so I think just having that foundation, it helps with the ups and downs. And we got guys on our team that for sure will feel that this year, and it'll be different for them, right? And but I think if you have that grounded mindset that this is, I'm not a big deal. I'm not some kind of big deal because I play hockey at Michigan State. I'm thankful for the opportunity, thankful for my health I have, the family that supported me to get to this point. And so I think just making sure that the mindset is the right way, that you're focused on the right things.
Coach, the players have talked about it, you've talked about the competition level in practice, so just how difficult, of what you've seen so far, how difficult has it been for you as coach as far as playing time for guys right now and line mates and things of that nature?
Yeah, no, it's a good problem for sure. I mean, that's our job as coaches, is to create a competitive environment and then reward the guys with the good behavior. And you could have situations where guys too are doing everything they can and they're not in the lineup. And it goes back to what I talked about a little bit before, is if you look in the mirror and see a hockey player, you're going to crash and burn. And so you got to see value. And we like to think that we treat every guy on our team the same. So if you're on a full scholarship and you're on the power play, or if you're a walk-on and you haven't played a game, we still care about you, still coach you. And but yeah, that's I mean, it's going to be competitive, and that's a good problem.
Do you have any more questions?
Jamie, you said in her email that you and Mike Porter whipped up a piece of pie, is that right?
Yeah, Mike's, we've started a little bit of a side pizza deal here, so Porch is the dough guy, I'm the launcher, so anyone wants to stick around.
We can take you guys out and you can see their their setup out there. It was donated by one of our alums. So they've got both a Blackstone grill and a Blackstone pizza grill. So logo forthcoming.